Chairman Sutton and President Felton, we are now ready to proceed with the 132nd commencement ceremony.
You may be seated. Faith is grace, a supernatural gift of God. Faith is certain. Faith seeks understanding. Faith is not opposed to science. Faith is necessary for salvation. Grace enables faith. Faith is making a decision to pursue a college education. It is registering semester after semester without knowing how you'd pay the bill, or taking that exam without studying. More practically, when you have a balance and get a call a week before graduation saying the college is going to forgive your debt, that's faith personified. And finally, when you make a decision to hold graduation 3 months ago and it rains 4 days straight leading up to graduation and God gives you a break in the day, that, my fellow Wildcats, is faith. Thank you, Mr. Fogg. Good morning. Okay. Y'all not awake yet. We're going to try this again. When I say good morning, you say good morning, okay? Good morning, family.
Good morning.
Welcome to yet another historical commencement, but today it's all about a celebration of achievement and the love and support of family. This commencement, more than any other, merits celebration for several reasons. First, we are holding commencement outside on our campus for the first time. Secondly, in spite of the pandemic, today it's all about our graduates and the village that supported them. As the 17th president and CEO, I am honored to preside at this commencement. I also am honored on behalf of the Wiley College family to extend warm Wiley welcome to family members and friends of the soon-to-be graduates. We convey our appreciation to you for nurturing and supporting these candidates, and as such realize that today reflects what we refer to as a family affair. Thank you for your presence. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. The program will now proceed as printed. We will now have the invocation by our Dean of Chapel, Reverend Dr. Dominique Robinson.
Our God is great and greatly to be praised. Is anybody glad that this is the day that the Lord has made? Are there any graduates who choose to rejoice and be glad in it? This is the day that the Lord has made. Come on and open your mouth behind the mask and give God some glory. Amen. Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you for being the amazing God that you are. We thank you, Lord, that you've been consistently by our side. We thank you for this day, this ceremony, this moment. And before we ask you for anything, we thank you for every single thing. God, we thank you. Now, Lord, be in this moment, this ceremony, this program. Be with every participant, every graduate. We thank you for family members, for village, for education, for achievements. We thank you for seeing us through the ups and the downs, the trials and the triumphs, the victories. We thank you, Lord, for this day. We come to give you the glory because it is because of you we've made it this far. Now, God, have your way throughout this entire field. Let the entire city feel your glory. For indeed, we give you the honor. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we do choose to rejoice and be glad. Amen.
Please, Sam. We will now have remarks from the chairman of our board, Dr. Walter L. Sutton, Jr.
Please be seated. Dr. Felton, graduates, this is indeed a glorious sight. Give praise to the Lord for this beautiful day. On behalf of the Wiley College Board of Trustees, I am pleased to welcome you to the 132nd Commencement Ceremony. This outdoor venue on the grounds of our dear old Wiley College stands as a symbol that Wiley's commencement today and in the foreseeable future will be accessible to all family and friends, near and far, who want to attend. Equally as important, this 132nd commencement is historic because the graduating seniors who once were promising students will become alumni. As Wileyites, you are expected to beam a beacon light in the communities where you will live, work, and serve. And it is our expectation that you will do so with distinction. Today is also historic because we realize that you have worked long and hard to earn your degrees, and you expect some respite. However, we also know that you are ready to continue your remarkable servant leadership trajectory, and as such, we urge you to press on to your higher callings. We congratulate you on having met the academic challenges of the last few years and commend you for the persistence and tenacity that have brought you to this day. We also applaud and commend the parents, grandparents, family members, and friends, for it was with their prayers, support, and best wishes that provided the safety net for you to stay on track and complete your major programs of study. Thank you, family members. In closing, may God bless and keep you. We wish you continued success as you go forth inspired. Thank you.
Good morning once again. Some students' accomplishments merit special recognition, and as the Chief Academic Officer, I'm honored to announce this year's summa cum laude graduate. And I'm pleased to introduce to you a graduating senior who, on her way to completing all requirements for the Bachelor's of Science degree in chemistry and minor in biology, and doing so while maintaining a 3.92 GPA. Ladies and gentlemen, I present our 2021 summa cum laude graduate, Alexa Souza. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you.
Reverend Matthew Lawrence Watley is the founder and senior president or senior pastor of Kingdom Fellowship AME Church, headquartered in Silver Springs, Maryland. The church was established out of Reed Temple AME Church, where he served as the executive minister for 20 years. Kingdom Fellowship began with more than 500 members, with Reverend Watley preaching 3 services each weekend. In addition to the thousands that attend worship in person, thousands more stream through the church's app, Facebook Live portal, and website. Under Pastor Watley's leadership, the church completed several business transactions, including acquiring and developing a 125,000 square foot office tower where it leases space to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and other business, producing an alternative revenue stream to support the work and ministry. Pastor Watley is the author of Ignite, 50 Days of Prayer That Will Change Your Life, and co-author of Poems of a Son, Prayers of a Father, with the Reverend Dr. William D. Watley, his father, who is former president of Paul Quinn College. Reverend Watley is a scholar, a gentleman, and a kind human being. He is a graduate of Howard University, where he received a degree in executive leadership, also at Georgetown University, the McDonald School of Business in 2009. And in the summer of 2015, he received a Master's of Arts in Education and Human Development from GW. Reverend Watley is presently a candidate for a doctorate in ministry from Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California. The American Institute of CPAs, the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials are just a few folks that have procured the services of Reverend Wiley, who is a profound speaker and student of leadership. Today, I would ask that you give Reverend Wiley a warm Wiley Wildcat as we welcome him. This, our 132nd commencement speaker address. Please receive Reverend Wiley.
To President Felton, for your stellar and stalwart leadership that has propelled this storied institution to heights yet unknown. Thank you for being the brilliant Black leader who walks this campus, seeing the possibility in the eyes of every student, for keeping the common touch as you walk with kings and embodying Black excellence. To your wife, Catherine Bush, whose friendship, Bush Felton, whose friendship with my wife, Shauna Frances Watley, facilitated our friendship. We thank you two First Ladies for bringing this president and this pastor together. To the Board of Trustees and faculty and staff, thank you for the honor of entrusting me with this moment. And most of all, to the graduating class of 2021. Y'all, it's time to turn up. It's time to celebrate. And y'all, I believe that big moments ought to have a soundtrack. So I decided to go back through the crates, well before all y'all were born, to the year 1979, to pull out a hymn, since I'm a preacher. The hymn was written and performed by a group by the name of McFadden and Whitehead. And the song says, "Ain't no stopping us now." Oh, y'all gonna have to do a little better than that. Ain't no stopping us now. Yeah, even in the mask, you still got the groove. That's right. And Wiley, we can sing that song because I've got some great news and I've got some good news. Here's the great news. And this comes directly from the Census Bureau's 2021 report on bachelor degree attainment. The report says people like you who receive a bachelor's degree typically will have higher lifetime earnings, lower odds of unemployment, and better health outcomes than those without one. So y'all, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the answered prayers of parents and grandparents that got you here. Let's celebrate that your graduation was the continuation of your family's collegiate educational legacy, or it is the beginning of your family's collegiate educational legacy. Let's celebrate that somehow, semester after semester, you and the Lord made a way to make tuition. Let's celebrate that you successfully completed all of your academic requirements after countless late nights, early mornings, and long hours. Let's celebrate that somehow some of y'all had to work and study. But even though you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, here you are sitting at the table, and y'all, it's time to eat. Let's celebrate that not even a global pandemic by COVID-19 could stop you from getting your degree and walking across the stage. I need somebody to help me. Ain't no stopping. That's about a C. We're going to get to an A before it's over. Listen, we have some great news, but we also have some good news. According to the same 2021 census report, bachelor degree attainment is also at an all-time high at over 32% of Americans 25 or older. Now listen, the reason that's good news and not great news is because that means in the workforce, you now become 1 out of 3, which means you have just joined the exclusive class of approximately 105 million other Americans, which means that this is not the end. That's why they call this ceremony a commencement, that we're just getting started, or as somebody else back in the day said, we've only just begun, the romance is not over. I can't get no help in this house. For those of you who continue like me to mourn the passing of Kobe Bryant, one of the endearing memories that we have is that after that second game in the finals, after the Lakers had come out on top after a particularly difficult victory, Kobe Bryant walked into the press conference with a very stern, almost angry look on his face. And after some questions, finally, one of the reporters had the temerity, the audacity, and the unmitigated gall to ask Kobe why his disposition seemed to be so sour. And he answered what LeBron James would say years later, job's not done. Kobe Bryant understood that just because they had won that game, the goal was not winning the game, the goal was winning the championship. And as a consequence, he wanted to celebrate, but not too much, because he understood there was still so much more work to do. Listen, brothers and sisters, the fact that you have now entered a group of 105 million other Americans means that you still have some more work to do. And that this day, receiving a diploma, graduating by itself does not necessarily make you special, but I'll tell you what does make you special. The last 4 or 5 or however long years it took you to get to this point on this campus makes you special. The Wiley College spirit and esprit de corps makes you special. The faith that fostered your ability to make it through this place makes you special. The hustle you had to master in order to get registered every semester makes you special. Your friendship networks that will last a lifetime and will open some doors for you makes you special. It's the swag of knowing that you graduated from the home of the great debaters and that you are a wildcat that makes you special. And most of all, it's knowing that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made, and that greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world, that makes you special and more than a conqueror. Ain't no. Now, since y'all in a singing mood, I want to give you your first postgraduate assignment. And that is for those who've yet to check it out, to go on Netflix and see this wonderful documentary entitled Quincy, about the life of this great music impresario, Quincy Jones, who has transformed the nation and the world with his musical genius. Jones in the movie talks about one of his professors, a woman by the name of Nadia Bollinger, who said, Quincy, we have 12 notes, the same 12 notes for 700 years. Brahms, Beethoven, Bo Diddley, Bird, Basie, everybody. And until God gives us 13, I'm going to make you learn what everybody's done with the 12. Think about that, y'all. Every musician on earth is limited to the same 12 notes, just as every writer is limited to the same 26 letters of the alphabet, just as every painter is limited to the same colors of the palette, just as every preacher worth his or her salt is limited to the same 66 books of the Bible. You see, the issue is not what you're given. The issue is what you do with what you're given. You give me the piano, and I might be able to make it through the scale. And then you have a Stevie Wonder. Give me a pen and paper, and I can write a few words, but I'm no Toni Morrison. Put canvas and oil and ink in my hand, and I'll scribble something, but I'm no Jacob Lawrence. Give me a Bible. I'll do the best I can to rightfully divide the word of truth, but I'm no T.D. Jakes. I'm no Vashti McKenzie. Well, shucks, since I'm doing commencement at Wiley, I am Matthew Watley. I guess what I'm trying to get at, my brothers and sisters, is that at some point, you will have to realize that this graduation is just the beginning. It's just your 12 notes. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? I want to sagaciously suggest to us for just a few minutes that at the end of the day, all of us have the challenge and the responsibility to make the most with our notes. Because listen, y'all, we all have the same number of hours in a day. We all are given the same decision and choices, whether we're going to blend in and go along, to get along, to stick with the herd, or whether we're going to stand out and be who and what God has called us to be. The question is not today. The question is what happens tomorrow and the day after. And I want to suggest that you want to live your life so that you build a body of work and don't just live to be a one-hit wonder. See, a graduation allows you a credential that gets you in the door. It gets you in the game. It puts you on the stage. It gives you a mic in your hand. The question is, what are you going to do and how are you going to sing? I want to tell you today that you've got a great opportunity. In fact, I want to suggest right now that you have a competitive advantage that we've not seen in a century. For those of you who know sociology, you know that those that were born from 1900 into the 1920s are referred to commonly as the greatest generation. That they're known for that because this is the generation that ushered in the golden age of Hollywood and made the middle class available to more people than ever before, that reshaped the world order and developed nuclear power. But listen, what made them the greatest generation was what they had to endure and suffer through. This is the crowd that lived through World War I. This is the group that lived through the Spanish flu pandemic. This is the group that lived through the Roaring 20s and Prohibition and the Great Depression. And this is the generation that fought on the battlefields of World War II and populated the factories that allowed America to come on top and reshape the world. What's your point? My point is that the reason I'm calling you all the greatest generation 2.0 is because you have endured 14 months of a pandemic and have come out more than a conqueror on the other side. You are more than a survivor, and as a consequence, these are no ordinary times, and you are no ordinary people. I'm done, but my job's not done. My job is to tell you, you got to take your 12 notes and make music and melody. My job is to tell you that you are generation 2.0. My job is to tell you that as we move forward from this day, we can no longer assume life. Because if you haven't learned anything else over the last 14 months, you should have learned that only God can help us. Science and medicine they're done their job, but they're limited. And even when science and medicine do their job, some folks still won't believe what they provide. That the government, shucks, can barely take care of itself. As we saw on January 6th, that if you and I are going to make it, we've got to look beyond science and beyond medicine and beyond government. We've got to lift up our eyes to the hills from whence cometh our help, knowing that all of our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. In other words, I want to tell you that in life, you can no longer try to live your life based on your 5 and 10 and 15-year plan. These are no longer the times of strategic planning. These are the times of strategic preparedness. Like many of you all, I've done my fair share of television watching during the pandemic, and my wife and daughter and I started watching this show called Rick Steves' Europe, where this guy goes and tours all these cities. And while he's outside this little place outside of London, he said, this place is unusual. It's particular. It's kind of like Marshall today. He said on the same day, you can get blazing heat and scorching rain and dense fog. He said, but it doesn't bother the people who live there because they live by one rule. There's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. And I want to tell you, if you decide today that you're going to clothe yourself with the whole armor of God, if you decide today that you're going to clothe yourself with integrity and character and righteousness over ratchetness, if you decide today that you're going to set for yourself and for those who are around you a standard of excellence, I come to tell you, it really doesn't matter whether it rains or shines. It really doesn't matter if the wind blows and if the wind whips, because at the end of the day, you have what you need to move forward. I come to tell somebody, ain't no stopping us now. We're on them. God bless you.
Oh, y'all can do better than that. I shouldn't even have to ask you to do better than that. Thank you, Reverend Watley, for that inspiring address. You have honored Wiley College with your message and for your presence. We are truly thankful, my brother. Each year is an award. There is an award that is given to a member of the faculty for outstanding and devoted service to our students and to Wiley College. This year, the Exemplary Faculty Award goes to Mr. Raymond K. Fogg, instructor of history. Without question, a faculty member who has dedicated his life and career to teaching and mentoring. For these reasons and more, I invite you to come forward to receive your award, which includes a citation and a check. I'm not going to put your business out there, but I don't want nobody coming up to you, hitting you across your head, trying to take your money, sir. Here you are. Thank you. I now at this time will ask our chairman to join me to the podium. It is my honor to call to the podium and present to you Reverend Matthew Watley as a candidate for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. I make this presentation on behalf of the faculty of Wiley College and the enthusiastic approval of the Board of Trustees. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wiley College, I now confer the Doctor of Humane Letters upon Reverend Matthew Watley, along with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. I now ask for the moment of the hour to begin. It's the real reason y'all are here, right? We're not delusional. We know the only reason you're here is to walk across this stage, and you deserve that. And now at this time, we'll ask our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Howard Gibson, to join in assisting in conferring the degrees.
Thank you, President Felton. It is my honor to call to the podium Dr. Cynthia Hester, Assistant Vice President and Dean of Business and Social Sciences.
Will the faculty in the School of Business and Social Sciences please stand as we present your candidates? Please stand. Will the candidates for the Associate and Bachelor of Arts degree in Social Sciences and Bachelor of Business Administration please stand? Candidates, please come forward. Y'all don't want to come? Please come forward. Thank you.
Autumn Cannon. Jasmine Freeman. Kenneth Jackson III, Criminal Justice. Yes, sir. Shantanae Jones. Okay. Shardell Edwards. Norris Greenhouse. Mercy Robinson. Brookajah Addison. Yes, sir. Lynette Maxey. Oriel Mobley. Jamarcus Williams. Garladin Stroy. Jalen Bolden. Destiny Horton Lavalis. Ariane Mendenhall. Destiny Peoples. John White. Quentin Allen. Micah Williams. Tatiana Burton. Decarius Williams. Wade LaCour. Trevon Thomas. Stephen Webb. Noah Whitted. Tanisha Montgomery. Shansaleon Moore. Corey Booker. Dexter Daniels. La Deanna Davis. Winona DeVore. Sharon Green. Jeffrey Hall. Brianka Hill. Shantan Perkins. Chandra Pettis. Shakira Smith. Shannon Smith. Julia Faye Tolliver. Latoya Williams. Kanisha Hodge. Angel Smith. Angel Ara. Emmanuel Ara. Analuapa Bemejoko. Nakia Williams. Alana Bennett. La Angela Finney. Osman Lugo. LaVencia McCoy. Phoebe R. Jamila Pickens. Jordan Strait. Dominic Tazzino. Shadrick Thomas. Alexandra Kennedy. Bianca Mason. Brianna Morris. Alvarez Pierce. Nia Rice. Crystal Clark. Justin Griffin. Drayton Jakes. Damaris Martinez. Destiny Webb.
Thank you, candidates. Please be seated. Faculty as well. Thank you.
This next school. President Felton, it is my honor to call Dr. Christy Young, Dean of the School of Education and Sciences, to the podium.
Will the faculty in the School of Education and Sciences please stand and present our candidates? Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Education, Interdisciplinary Studies, and the Sciences please stand? Candidates, please come forward. Faculty, please be seated.
Akaya Hudson. Justin Preston. Roderick Sorrell. Alexia Sousa. Jaimin Ashbury. Delanisha Cole. Elizabeth Collins. Amber Hardman. Devlin Noble. Clarence Pierre. William Reed. Andia Thomas. Carlos Torres. Manuel Torres. Idasia Earl. Ariel Hayes. Bethany Hurd. Jamil Hall Jr. Nicholas Madison.
Okay. Thank you, candidates. Please be seated.
Now at this time, will all candidates stand and please remain standing. President Felton, these candidates have successfully completed the prescribed courses for the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Science, and the Bachelor of Business Administration degrees, respectively. These graduates come with the recommendation of the faculty, and I present them to you in order that they earn the degrees that the earned degrees be conferred appropriately.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation of the faculty of Wiley College, I now confer said degrees upon the graduates, along with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. Now, as a part of the academic tradition, it is time for each graduate to turn his or her tassel from right to left. Congratulations. Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. As your journey along this highway of academic excellence at Wiley College comes to an end, and you approach the interchange to exit onto highways of new goals, experiences, and opportunities, I would like to congratulate you, the members of the Wiley College class of 2021. You have now earned the right to join the ranks of distinguished alumni. You have proven that you can overcome challenges that may come your way and achieve your goals through unwavering commitment to learning and academic excellence, steadfast faith, persistence, diligence, uncompromising integrity, and remarkable endurance. Miss Green, where are you? Please stand, Miss Green. I think yes, you. This is what endurance looks like. 62 years old, receiving her degree today. Y'all can do better than that. Don't even act crazy. 62, running the race. It does not diminish the capacity, the journey, the trials that each of you have been through. But in the practice of Sankofa, and the fact that we are at an historically black college and university, it is always indeed an honor and a pleasure to honor your elders. I charge you to continue building on the foundational hard and soft skills and competencies that you've acquired over these years at Wiley, and to remain committed to lifelong learning, to embrace change, to remain humble, and to continue developing your spiritual lives. That is chief among those. Remember to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. It is now time for you to commit yourselves to carry on the Wiley tradition of servant leadership through exemplary careers, service to your communities, and support of your alma mater. At this time, graduates, please stand for induction to the Wiley College National Alumni Association. The audience may follow the oath, which is found on the second to the last page of your commencement program. To our board member, Nolan L. Anderson, president of the Wiley College National Alumni Association, we welcome you to give this oath at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Felton. Graduates, repeat after me, please. As an alumnus, I do solemnly swear to uphold the legacy of Wiley College, imbued by the spirit of the college's mission to serve the needs of students of diverse backgrounds. I will endeavor to earn my own place among alumni who have brought recognition and honor to this institution. I commit myself to the highest standards of service to humanity wherever my life touches that of others. I further swear to provide moral, intellectual, and generous financial support, and I will encourage others to attend my alma mater. I do solemnly pledge my commitment to Wiley College and to the foundation on which she stands, with steadfast love and purpose true, with glorious deeds to do, for God, school, and community. Thank you, graduates. May God continue to bless you in your future endeavors. And on behalf of the Wiley College National Alumni Association, Inc., you are now true Wileyites. And we thank you. Hey, Wiley. All right with me. Congratulations. And go forth inspired. Dr. Felton.
Graduates, before you sit down, I want you to turn to your village and let them know how you really feel. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in expressing our appreciation to our dedicated members of our Board of Trustees, our chairman, Dr. Walter L. Sutton. Thank you for your tireless support. We thank you for your wise counsel and generous support to ensure the ongoing legacy of Wiley College. To the hardest working, most diligent, brilliant faculty and staff, I thank you here at Wiley College for all you have done pouring into these vessels who will emulate your movement, who will exude your spirit, and who will carry on the many lessons that you have given. Thank you to them. There are some misnomers about being at a small private HBCU. And one of them is that we don't have pride. Another is that if you don't come from a place that has big, shiny buildings, fancy endowments, that you are irrelevant. There are some folks standing on that back wall that have blue shirts on and white shirts on, folks who have been a part of the homecoming, not the homecoming, which is, I'm really excited about that because homecoming is going to be lit. But there are some folks who have put this what you see today is a culmination of hard work, dedication, and pride that they say don't exist at institutions like ours. To the members of our facilities, we thank you, we honor you for making this campus look the way it does. We honor you for that. We thank you, Mr. White, Percy, and all of you who get up tirelessly and labor in this vineyard called Wiley College, rain, sleet, or snow. We thank our newly formed police department. Yes, sir, we have a police department. Sorry y'all won't be here to experience it. Police vehicles, real guns, all of that stuff. I'm trying to tell y'all we official around this piece. To the folks in the white shirts who make up the committee, the white polos, raise your hand. All the folks who have been on the commencement committee, I thank you for the work that you've done here. To the parents, the aunties and cousins and grandmama nims and next door neighbors and sisters and brothers, this is your day as well. You carried them when they didn't feel they could be carried. You provided for them. That extra dollar that you sent mattered. Thank you for being praying mamas and daddies in villages. I also want to recognize just a few of our special guests, and we'll be out of your way today. Allie Watley, a classically trained ballerina. Please stand, a food critic, the daughter of Matthew W. Watley. Thank you for coming here today. This 10-year-old is someone that you should mark the name down. I promise you in about 5 to 10 years, you will be able to say, I remember when. This young sister is the best of what we have, the progeny of slaves. The progeny of slaves is what we are. And we have defied odds over and over again, and she has personified that, what remarkable resilience looks like when a village comes together. We thank Allie for being here. We also want to thank Shauna Watley, who I call the modern day Olivia Pope. Please stand, Shauna. We thank you for the work that you do. Shauna is a partner at Holland & Knight, just a strategist. She has been instrumental, serves as our lobbyist on the federal level. If you don't know, Holland & Knight is one of the premier elite law firms, and she is in a cottage industry where she gets stuff done. Phone calls to the president, meetings with the congressmen, and even delivering what we believe will be a part of the transformation of this gymnasium, this right wing of the complex, a $2.5 million grant from the EDA. It is coming our way. And we thank Shauna Watley for her vision and the work that she does, and believing in a college like us to take on a little old client like Wiley College. We thank you for that. And last but not least, my chief strategist, the person who I run all my decisions by, my wife, Catherine Ann Bush, who is a phenomenal young lady herself, who serves down in New Orleans, splits time between here and now and doing what she deserves, which is serving the public in the transportation, creating equity for all those who don't have. Thank you, Catherine, for all that you do for this institution and for me. Thank you very much, my sister, my love. Now, will all the Wiley alumni please stand, including the recent graduates? Members of the Wiley faculty and staff, will you please stand and be recognized? And on behalf of the entire Wiley College family, let me thank each of you for joining us in this celebration, the awarding of degrees to the Wiley College class of 2021. And as we conclude this commencement ceremony, please stand for the singing of the alma mater, which is a way that I know you are going to sing it in a different way because you are now an alumnus of the institution. The benediction by Reverend Dr. Dominique Robinson, Dean of Chapel. And after the benediction, we ask that you would please be seated for the recessional. We realize. Oh, Wiley, dear, hold that up. I'm sorry, my brother. We realize that you are eager to embrace and congratulate your graduates. However, we solicit your cooperation in keeping the social distance guidelines. Please allow the graduates to exit the field before embracing them so they can complete the recessional with dignity and decorum on their special day. At this time, please stand for the alma mater. Oh, Wiley, dear, ever
You better hold that note. I would be remiss if I didn't give you, class of 2021, at least 30 seconds to give God praise for what God has done. You got 20 more seconds. I'm sure God deserves a little bit more than that. Now, I ought to tell Tatiana, don't mess up her role. Stephen, I know you owe God a praise. Decarius, I know you owe God a praise. You got 10 more seconds to let the tears fall to tell God, thank you for what God has done. And now unto the only wise God, who can gird you up as you go out in joy and celebrate your achievement here today. Go out with confidence, knowing that the God of love will lead your way. Go out in unity, taking your gifts and giving them to the world. Going out with strength, clothed and equipped with all you've learned. Go out with wisdom as God renews your mind each day. Go out in love with kindness and blessings to give away. Go out and take your studies to bless God's beautiful world. Go out with freedom as scholars, debaters, athletes, activists, and worshipers, going forth inspired, glorious deeds indeed to do. Amen.